Hello, my crafty friends. Well, this is, I think, part 3. Not positive. It'll be titled the right number. Um, of the two two journals from one Digi Kit that I'm doing as a Defy project, and I've got the Digi Kit that I'm using is Grunge Garden at Elsie Bell's Bookshelf. And so that's where you can go to get this. And if you buy it and you put Hartist, Hartists, Hartists, in the comment box, she will give a copy of it to a Hartist for free. So that's really cool. You can do something fun for yourself and something fun for someone else too. And the last time we decided what cover we were going to use, and we got them put into a state where they could actually be used. We've got that one, and then this one. We put Tyvek inside this one to strengthen it, but we left the outside of it alone. And this one was torn, so we put some tape on both sides to make it strong. This is the one we're going to be doing with papers that I printed off myself that have a border, which I'm not sure I can even print them off without a border on my computer. I mean, on my printer. I know my old printer I couldn't, but this printer I'm not sure. So I could have printed them off all the way to the edge, but this was as close as I could get, I think. But I know I'm not the only one who doesn't have edge-to-edge capability, and that's one reason we're doing this journal. So you can see how to do one if you can't do edge-to-edge. And this one is a little bit bigger because I'm using the beautiful papers that Tammy Porter printed off edge-to-edge and sent to me, and she put pretty things on the back as well, whereas mine are just the back of the paper. So I'm ended up making 2 journals to sell in a Defy auction. Defy stands for the Disabled Artist Foundation Incorporated, and it is a wonderful charity that we should all support, because it gives people like us who can't afford to buy their own supplies some supplies to work with, or if they can't buy as many supplies as a lot of us can. So I'm happy to be able to help with that. But today we're going to actually go ahead and decorate the covers for both of these books. And probably the backs will stay pretty much like they are, except of course the spine will be covered because the backs are pretty. This one is grunged, it's used, and this one is not as much, but I might, distress it some. Okay. So we're going to do similar things to both of them. And I came up with names for these journals. This one, because it has more space, is going to be So Joy Harvest Peace. And this one is going to be Seeds of Joy. And I'm not sure which size I'm going to use. I printed them out on these papers that have a little bit of metallic copper and green, and this is avocado dyed paper that has the green and copper in it. I just didn't crumple these. So they'll make good title thingies. Okay, I'm going to put those up here for now. The first thing I'm going to do is on this one, we're going to need to glue this down. Before we do that, though, we need to decide how we're going to decorate this, because I may need to glue this like this. Okay. Now, I don't want to cover the whole cover. So I think what I'm going to do, with this one. I'm going to first fussy cut here, and then if I don't like that, I'll come back in and I'll redo it down to this. But I'm going to pause the video for a second while I do that fussy cutting, because it ends up taking a lot of time. So I don't want to make this any longer than I have to. Okay, I've printed off, I've fussy cut those two pieces out of off the page. Here's the rest of the page they were on. And I like that so far. I do want to tear this. I think I want to use a tear ruler though. And there's the title of it. And I like that. Where did I put that? What I was going to put on top of this. Oh, here it is. Oops. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit too big, and I can wrap it around the top and bottom like that. Now I had what did I do with it? I dropped it. Oh, here it is. I had this. I was thinking about, it's kind of similar colors there. Thinking about gluing this on here and tearing it out too. Let's just tear some of it out. And let's go ahead and I think I kind of like that paper behind the words. I think I'm happy with that. I do want to ink all this stuff up before I glue it down, and I want to glue it all down before I glue this down. So let's find the ink pad. Now I've been debating about using, you can use whatever color ink you want. A lot of people use black. I usually use this sepia. I'm going to just do a test here. So I'm going to use some sepia. Oh, that's the wrong ink pad. Let's go on around here with the right one. Okay, and then I'm gonna try, I might even, since I'm going to be edging it with this like this, do it like this. Let's go ahead and go down here and try. Okay. But then I have this plum, which I think would be really pretty. think it goes perfectly with this cover. So I think I'm going to ink this book with the plum. Now this is supposed to be a grungy, grunge garden, which tempts me to go ahead and distress the edges of the book. But if I'm going to, this one's in such good, well, there's a little place there, I guess, that's worn. But this one will lend itself to distressing a lot easier because it's already kind of distressed. So just so you can see the difference between the two, I'm going to leave this one and not distress the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and ink all this. I'm just talking through all of this with you so you can kind of get my thought process at least while I'm doing this. Everybody who does it kind of thinks of things differently, and you'll think of things your own way. You won't necessarily want to do things just the way I do them. But oh yeah, this looks pretty. Except getting it to go in those little places is not always the easiest. Okay, there's that. And we're going to do the best we can to edge this. It's really thin, so I don't know how much it'll actually work, but we're going to do it, and then we can just feel good because we know we did. Okay, and this one. Let's start here. This is going to be grunged, like the name suggests, but it's going to be grunged with purple. So, okay. I like that. Now then, I'm going to glue these down with glitter glue because I know they will stay put if I do that. But let's get some paper up here. I don't want to get glue on my cover. I just thought of something. I need to glue this down first. Okay. Now then, this one up here. And I'm going just in from the edges a little bit. I think it'll last better if it's not right on the edge. Less likely to get worn and messed up. And then we have this one. It's going to go right here. Let's go ahead and put this down. Okay, and this one. I'm going to have to clean my hands before I move on to the next step after this. Okay. There. Now then, this is what it looks like right now. Now we're going to put this over the top of it, and that will kind of pull in these colors. And then we're going to put this over the top of that for the blues. And that is going to be our cover. So I'm going to go just beyond the white on both sides. And we're going to use the glitter glue because I know it works. When I try to use something else, it doesn't always work. So, and always, when you're putting fabric inside a crease like that, always go ahead and put some glue in there too. Now this may show through a little bit, but it'll be okay because it'll be hidden by the lace. Yeah, some fabrics it does. I don't know if this fabric will or not, but I do know that the lace will take care of that if it does. Okay. Uh-oh. You want that glued down really good. Okay. I'm going to let this sit a minute and dry. I'm going to clean my hands, and then we're going to work for a minute on the other book while that dries, and then we will add the lace on it. Sometimes if you try to go too fast, you end up having things happen you would rather not have happen. Okay. Now for this one, my plan for the spine is to glue this piece of lace on top of this paper. So that will give it some brightness, some color underneath. And it's going to go, you know, quite a bit on each side. But I think that's okay. I'm not worried about it. And it's not a perfectly straight piece, so it won't be perfectly straight on the book either. So I'm okay with that too. First thing I'm going to do is glue this down onto the paper. And this is thinner than that other. This might accidentally show. Now I got to think. I think the Fabrifix would show too. Well, we're just going to try it. If it looks bad, we'll just do something else. I tend to overdo this glue, and maybe if I don't overdo it, it won't show through. I don't know. We're going to see. You'll know as soon as I do. Okay. And we want this to go inside the lace all the way down. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, I don't see any glue showing through, so that's good. It just looks a little wrinkly, but I ironed it and it still looks wrinkly. And the paper's a little wrinkly, which makes it look wrinkly again, but we're gonna be okay with that. Okay, I'm gonna trim this at the edge of the paper because the paper is long enough to go around the book to the inside. Okay. And it's going to be like this. But we need to decorate it too. And like I said, the back may not have anything done to it except for being distressed. But I want to do something kind of like I did on that one. I'd like to put this on there. And that won't cover up all our words, so we'll have to work around that. I think on this one, I'm tempted to leave this and do a fussy tear instead of a fussy cut. But yeah, let's just try it. Okay, first thing we need to do is kind of tear the edge here a little bit. I want to keep it as close as I can. Okay. Let's see how that's gonna. Yeah, I think that'll look good. It'll ink up well. And that's, well, we're gonna kind of fussy tear around this too. I'm going to go outside it, so if I don't like it, I can go back and fussy cut it. Well, when you got a big piece, that you're trying to tear off. Okay, let's just trim it because I think it'll be easier to tear if I'm not having to try to tear deal with that whole piece of paper. Sometimes that's the difference between something being easy and something being hard is okay, let's get this out of there. And I may ink this journal with, well, either that plum would be pretty on here too. With either the plum or a blue, maybe. Or maybe I'll go ahead and do it with the sepia like I usually do. Just, okay. So let's see what this will look like. So if we do that, we do completely cover up those words, which is nice. But we don't completely cover up these words. And so that might be a good reason to put our the title of our book on the bottom. Let's see. See, we could do this. And that would and ink it. It's kind of sad to put it over that, but if we don't do that, we'll have to put it in the middle, which we could do. It won't cover up the flower. One other thing we could do, you got to get a spot where this will work. Let's do it like this. And I think I like that. Or we could even bring this one up here. Get some of this stuff out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I think I am going to ink with sepia on this one. And I'm going to go ahead and also distress the the edges of the book, and then we'll use sepia to ink the edges of the book as well. Okay. If we do this like this, and put this on here, let's go ahead and ink these so we can see what they'll look like. Okay. I'm wondering if that needs to be inked some too. Probably. Let's just go ahead and do it. We're going to be inking everything else. I'm wondering about, that might be too much. Lightly inking the rest of it. I think we're going to leave it like that. Okay. Now then, let's get those out of the way. And we need to stress this. I've got to find my sanding blocks. Be right back. Okay. This is what I'm using. I got these at Harbor Freight for a package of 6 for $5. So 150 fine grit, 5-inch angled sanding sponges. And we're just going to use them to do some more distressing on the edges of this. The back probably didn't need any extra. It's pretty distressed already. Okay, now it looks blue. Okay, let's see if we can get this sanding stuff all the way here. Now when you do that, you want to clean that off good. I usually just take a baby wipe and go over it, but you wouldn't have to. You could just use a paper towel or something if you want to, but this way I know I got it all off and my glue's gonna stick good, so my ink will stick good, all that stuff. Okay. And so this is going to be covered up right here, so I'm not going to even worry about it. But we're going to go ahead and I don't know if you can see the difference there. And I think I'm going to kind of bring it up a little bit. And we'll go a little bit from here too. Okay. So I kind of grunched that up a little bit, and we're going to do the same thing to the front. Whoop. Okay, let's kind of bring it in. Okay, so we kind of grunched that up too. And we're going to let that dry a few minutes. And I'm going to take a quick break while it does and be right back. Okay. We're going to go ahead. Let me... It's hard to decide exactly how far over to go, but I want as much of it to show as can, so I'm probably going to go to right here. Let's mark it because we're not going to see it. Okay. I'll let it sit open too long. I love the color that she used on the paper on the back of this, but sometimes you have to cover things up. Okay. I was sitting there while I was relaxing thinking, that would just really be cute up here. Maybe I should move it up there. And then I remembered I have to cover up this. That's why I was putting it on the bottom. I still am thinking about whether I like this down here or whether I want it up there. We could do it backwards. Harvest peace, sow joy. But you kind of got to sow before you harvest. So I think I'm going to put it down here. I think in the long run I'll be happier with it. Okay. So Joy Harvest Piece. And we want to put this on where we can flip it over and put this down back there so it'll have a nice edge. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do the glitter glue. I'm not gonna worry about the edge that's going over yet. Oh dear. This is not the time for my glue to get grumpy. Thank you, glue. Trying to sow joy here. Come on. Okay. I'm going to stand up so I can hopefully see to get this on straight. Okay, we're just going to call that good. Doesn't look straight back here, does it? Okay. I'm going to put the glitter glue here, and then I'm going to clamp it on the back so it'll okay. Let's go ahead and put a couple more in there. All right. We're going to turn this around and do the same thing on this side. Let me get some more of those. These are wonderful little clamps I got at Dollar Tree. You get, I think, 6 for $1. And I use them a lot. I think it's pretty much a bargain. Okay. Put one here, one over here. Okay. Now then, this is what our cover is going to look like for this one. I like it. I like it. I'm contemplating Mod Podging over the whole thing. It might would have been better to Mod Podge before I put the fabric on it, but tell me what you think in the comment section. Okay, I'm going to move this one so it can dry. And then we're going to put the lace on this one. That's a little harder to do, but trying to see if I can get this to clean out whatever it is that's making it not want to work very good. Okay. I'm going to put I think I'm going to put my glue on this and then lay this on top of it. I could just put glue all over all the blue parts of this. Let's try that. But I do need to go around the around the edges really good, even some places where it's not blue, because that's what really needs to be stuck down is the edges. Oops. There's got to be some glue on the edges because it's going to have to turn. Anyway, I may end up coming back and putting some more glue on the edges after the center has dried some. Let's go ahead and put some on these. Okay. Let me get something plastic. Okay. Okay, just and this is this will release, I think, pretty good. So let's make sure it's clean though. Okay. Now then I'm going to trim this a little bit. And we're going to bring this around like this. But And we're going to hope it stays, because if I clamp it, I'm afraid my clamps will, they will stick. We will be putting papers over this, so it won't, if it's messy, it won't show. I just want it down so that the front looks like this. Alrighty. Now then, while I'm letting this dry, this is what it look like. Okay. I'm going to let this dry, and we will come back and work with signatures next. God bless you. Bye-bye.